Macy, what do you got?
Okay, first question for today. If I am driving in my car and I cause an accident, and it just so happens the accident is bad enough to where the person dies, but it was not an intentional accident. Like I just didn't see them, or like I was completely sober and I was completely like not driving over the speed limit. Do I go to jail if I get pulled over, obviously, and the whole situation goes down?
And I hope this isn't based on any real life experience you've had. So there's two parts to the law. There is the criminal side, there's the civil side. You guys, most of our TV, like our TV series and things like that, they always revolve around the criminal side because it's really interesting, right? Like, somebody killed somebody and there's a whole investigation and there's a mystery and all that kind of stuff. The civil side is the part where you're essentially working to try to get compensated for an injury, or it might even be a death. A perfect example, and you guys obviously probably have some familiarity with like OJ Simpson, that whole situation. So there was a criminal trial. He was tried for murder. There was a wrongful death action that was brought against him. And that was a civil action. And in the criminal trial, where for a criminal standard, it's beyond a reasonable doubt. Yep, the state has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt the person committed the crime. So a really high burden because you're talking about taking away someone's freedom, their liberty, all that stuff. Where somebody is trying to get money out of the person, the burden is less. You only have to prove it's more likely than not that they did it. And so it's a lesser burden because, again, we're not trying to take away their freedom, their life, all the things. You have these two different areas of the law. So on an accident situation like you just described, you're not going to be criminally prosecuted for that situation because, again, it wasn't intentional. It wasn't egregious, reckless. You're saying you weren't impaired, not under the influence. You weren't driving 120 miles per hour in a 35 mile per hour zone, something like that. So again, if you're driving down the street and let's just say you're on your phone, you're texting, or you're distracted in some way, not good, not cool, but it doesn't rise to the level of something criminal. And so the person, let's say you did kill somebody, that person's family could sue you causing that death and for the what we call the damages that have followed from that, from the loss of the life, what it meant to them. If it's, let's say it's a father, two small kids and a wife, you've now taken away, their means of living. So all of that can be pursued in a wrongful death claim. That's a claim that is a civil action. But no, you're not going to be criminally prosecuted. And obviously on the flip side, if you're drunk, if you are driving recklessly or something like that, then yes, it's going to move up. You could have both claims, but a criminal matter could definitely be coming from that because at that point, it may rise to the level of manslaughter or something like that. So